Welcome back to the Owls Media Network. Men's lacrosse takes this game 16-8. I'm joined up here in the booth now by our head coach, long-tenured head coach for that matter, Mark Theriault. Mark, congrats on the win.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. First off, well, thank you. This is my first game up here. I don't think I mentioned that, so it's an honor to meet you in your 27th season of
26, actually.
26, coach. Yeah. Okay, 26th season of coaching. In that time, obviously, you've seen a lot of Salem State. So what good happened today that you think you can use moving forward?
I think we had a ton of offensive opportunities. You know, I believe we were looking at the stats. There was something like 70-something shots. So it shows that the guys were hungry to go to the goal and they wanted to score some goals. Unfortunately, I don't think we shot as well as we wanted to, but at the same time, they're hungry. So it was nice to get a pretty strong win here. So I'm definitely pleased with the team.
Yeah, and this was the first game, your first home game back here since the snowstorm. What was that, 3 weeks ago? Like August?
Two weeks, I think.
August. March.
Right.
I think we all wish it was just a little warmer, like August.
Absolutely.
But obviously that was a very different game. You guys had a couple of games down south in Tennessee and Louisiana, I believe.
Correct.
What lessons did you want to take from those games, bring them back up here to a bit colder region of the country?
Yeah, the two games down there were great. It's always nice to leave Keene and get some perspective. We obviously played two games, but I think the other thing that's really important is the whole team bonding thing. We're able to do a lot of things off the field, visiting, Graceland and things like that. And, by doing that, the kids really appreciate each other and they get to hang out with kids that they don't hang out with during the regular season. And, when you're back in school, it's, school, then practice, and then back at it. So, when we're down there, I tell them everyone's a professional lacrosse player for the week, and they get to hang out and have a lot of fun. So, I think that really brings the team together. And then, we come back here, and here we're at Salem, and it's a conference game, and I think we're, rolling and playing some pretty good lacrosse.
Yeah, it was a fun game to watch here, especially for me personally, my first lacrosse game I've seen here at Keene State. There did seem to be a bit of a momentum shift, like right around the second and third quarter. You guys started out red hot, which I noticed you guys tend to do, especially in your last or in your home opener here when there wasn't as much snow on the ground.
Correct.
But it did feel like an opposite bell curve where you started out really hot, kind of dipped a little bit. So how do you plan on practicing to get them to play like that red hot level for all four quarters?
Yeah, I think if I have the equation, I'd probably make a lot of money with that and share it with every coach in every sport. I think what happens is you get going, you get some success early, and then you kind of like get a little complacent and people get a little selfish wanting to score goals and not making that one extra pass. And that's the thing that, me and our coaching staff needs to really impress upon all the kids is that, we have to stick to our game plan. We just got to keep being, not being selfish with the ball and share it with everyone on the field. And if we do that, we're in really good shape.
Yeah, he certainly seemed to get a lot more pass happy. It felt like toward the end, I loved especially just kind of moving it around the perimeter, really waiting for those chances. But you got one more out-of-conference game against Norwich. How are you going to use that on, I believe that's on Wednesday.
Correct
me if I'm wrong on that. So on Wednesday, you got your last out-of-conference game. How are you going to use that to really prep them for this 7-game gauntlet that's just Little East?
Yeah, it's, the head coach is one of my assistant coaches who went up there. So, it's a treat to get up to there to play against, one of my colleagues and friends. So, for me, it's just another game that we prepare like any other game. So we don't consider it a better game or a more important game. We treat everyone, the whole Bill Belichick thing, take one game at a time mentality. But it's true. We just, get ready and, hopefully we win and hopefully we learn from that. And, just like today, we'll be breaking down this film tonight and tomorrow and show it to the team to learn from our mistakes and try to get better as a team. So, it's a nice stepping stone. We know it's not a conference game, but it's still important to us. And then we go, back into conference for, like you said, the rest of the teams in the Little East.
Yeah, it always feels like the conference games get a ton of emphasis placed on them, but like you said, every game matters. Every game is a learning experience.
Absolutely.
Well, for right now you opened up conference play with a win. Congrats on that.
Thank you.
And I wish you luck with the rest of the season. It's an honor to meet you up here.
Thank you. I also have to give a little prop to, or a shout out to Jack Rickey, our face-off guy, who was 100% today, and that never happens. And when you get something so elite as that, you just have to recognize that, and just really proud of what he did today.
Yeah, I think I even made a comment on it. It didn't feel like he lost anything today,
not at all.
And I guess he really didn't.
That's it.
So that was an awesome treat to see.
Absolutely.
Well, Coach, thank you so much.
Thank you. Take care.
Thank you.
This is Paul Sullivan of Sullivan Tire Company. We're thrilled to be sponsoring the Keene State College Athletic Program, supporting the Owls. No matter what the sport is, in Division III, they are legendary. What a great academic institution, liberal arts school, in a beautiful part of New England. So let's go, you Owls. And remember, at Sullivan Tire, we're always here to get you there. Thank you.
Welcome back to the Owls Media Network. Keene State men's lacrosse takes this opener in conference play 16-8. Overall, a pretty strong showing. Got perhaps a little goal hungry, but ultimately all is well. An 8-goal lead. The win streak against Salem State continues. 18 games now. They still have not lost since 2001, which, as I believe I remarked, I don't think anybody on this current Owls roster was even alive the last time that they lost a game to Salem State. Dylan Seymour and Jack Ansart, obviously the stories on the offensive side of the ball. Dylan Seymour had a monster first half, 6 goals. And Jack Ansart finished his day with 4, really started heating up in the second. And of course, Jack Rickey, the main face-off man, did not lose a single face-off today. Keene State's got one more out-of-conference game on Wednesday, and then they are right back here at home next Saturday. And it's all conference play from there. Thank you for joining us here on the Owl Media Network. From all of us here, Graham Sundstrom, Ryan Hearn, our entire crew, we wish you a pleasant adieu. Eight-goal deficit and a win for Keene State as they start conference play off right with a win. 16-8 is the final score. Dylan Seymour and Jack Ansart doing their job on the offensive side of the ball.
You have been watching a Keene State Athletics broadcast on the Owls Media Network. Please tune in to our next broadcast, and thank you for watching.